the Digital DJ Tips DJ School Studio. It's the first Thursday of March. The first Thursday of the month means it is our DJ School Open Day. It is our Ask Me Anything live show, which is when we do what we do on a Tuesday at this time, but there's no agenda. There's no script, there's nothing prepared. We haven't got, on a Tuesday we normally teach something. We'll have a piece of gear, we'll have a piece of news we want to discuss with you guys and girls or whatever. But today, the first Thursday of the month, is literally, I don't know what we're going to talk about today. I have no idea because it's all up to you. So come and let me know what you're stuck with in your DJing. Those of you that know Digital DJ Tips will know that we're the people behind this book, Rock the Dance Floor, which has got 5 big areas of DJing. This is how we teach DJing at the school. The 5 big areas are gear, the geeky stuff, music, everything about the music, mixing, what you do with the music on the gear, performing, what you actually deliver once you've done all that stuff, and success, all the many different ways you can go once you've got that. And so whatever your question is, you could be stuck on something to do with your DJ gear, you could be stuck on something to do with music, getting music, organizing music, whatever. Or of course it could just be, hey, I want to know how DJs do this or do that. It could be something about getting gigs or dealing with nerves or whatever, or it could be one of the many things you can do once you've mastered all of this. So you might be trying to make a mixtape, you might be trying to figure out how to go live, you might be indeed getting ready to play a massive gig in a festival or something and you want some help with these things. Whatever, we're here to help, and that's what this Thursday AMA is about. It's an absolute joy to be here. I'm Phil Morse, the school founder and tutor. Okay, hello to everyone who is already here. We're live on YouTube, Twitch and on Facebook. Hello to Kesha in the Windy City on YouTube. Hello to Charlie Casanova on Facebook. Early chat already. Hello to you, Jamie. We are going to look at some of the things that have been going on in the DJ world since we last spoke. And of course, you can always catch up on these things by heading to the digitaldjtips.com website. Current stuff over there, we're talking about optimizing your Mac or Windows laptop. This is all free, by the way, so head over to Digital DJ Tips if you see anything of interest to you. We also have been talking about finding time for learning DJing. Where, if you can see my mouse pointer there, this is down here. But look, you can go here and scroll back through literally thousands and thousands and thousands of articles and reviews and stuff that we've been up to. So go and take a look. But in the news, I guess probably the biggest thing in the news is the kind of stuff going on with Rekordbox, which is the most popular DJ software platform. It was impossible to subscribe to Rekordbox, to cancel your subscription, to put your subscription level 1 higher or 1 lower, or change anything about it for, well, several weeks, over a month, until a couple of days ago. They had a problem with their payment provider. And a couple of days ago, they kind of got it back. So you've now got a couple of plans, 3 plans you can choose from. But they've also cut out a few of the cheaper options. So it's now a little bit more expensive if you want to do that stuff. Maybe you've got a view on this. Maybe you're a Rekordbox user. And if you use any Pioneer DJ Alpha Theta gear, at least most of it, including this stuff, you're a Rekordbox user. Now, if you're using it with this stuff, you actually don't need any subscriptions, because to prepare your music to play on CDJs is free and always has been. But if you're using it with software, if you've got a Flex 10 or anything else that requires you to have your laptop plugged in order to DJ, well, you're going to need one of these platforms. Has it affected you? What are your thoughts on it? You can catch up on all of the news over on the Digital DJ Tips website. Look at our news stories there. There's a couple of explainers and stuff, but I'd like to know what you think. So there's a few things going on in the DJ world. One other big piece of amazing news in the DJ world. So I just want to say congratulations, my friend, to our tutor, DJ-AZ Jeff, who has been chosen by FIFA to provide the, I think they call it the audio index or the audio ID for the Philadelphia matches of the World Cup, the World Football Cup, as in soccer, American friends, which is coming to you guys in 2026. There's going to be lots of games in Philly, and the ones that played there are going to have music provided, altered, remixed, re-edited and prepared for that stadium and for all the broadcast and everything by our very own DJ-AZ Jeff. Jeff, they couldn't have picked a better Philly resident to do that. Well done, my friend. We're very, very proud of you, and we can't wait to see, or rather to hear, what those games are like. Football's a big thing. for most of the world, right? But in the States, I think it's about to become quite a lot bigger than it already is getting. Yeah, and Jeff is right behind it. How exciting. Okay, I've given you long enough to start your questions coming in, and I'm sure they are. So with all the preamble out of the way, let's get on with it. So the first question today is from Charlie, who says, with AI becoming mainstream, I think it will help in creating more amazing mixes and expanding and creating a wow effect that all of us DJs look forward to getting from the crowd. What do you think we should use as our prime AI tool today? Really, really good question, Charlie. So AI is a big thing, isn't it? It's everywhere. And, you know, you won't be able to avoid AI. I mean, as you probably know, if you've got a smartphone, it's starting to just arrive. You know, all these new technologies are optional until they're not. It's just starting to arrive. You see it everywhere now. And it is genuinely useful. You know, if you've got kids, give me 10 things to do in insert city here on a rainy day. AI's got your back. There's all kinds of things it can do. The things that I think it's useful for right now, some of them you don't even notice. So the very best DJ software is now using AI to do the beat gridding. So it's just perfect. You don't actually have to worry about it. I'm thinking DJ Pro AI as a performance platform. They've actually dropped the AI because it's just folded in now. So DJ Pro, but also DJ Studio is using it as well, which is not a performance DJ platform, but it's a very good one that lets you prepare mixes. So AI is seeping in at the edges there. Also for choosing what songs are going to mix with the currently playing song. People are experimenting in DJ software with that, but you can go and ask ChatGPT. You can say to ChatGPT, give me something that will mix well with this, and give them a song title and it'll give you some suggestions. Another good use of it is to say, you know, to give ChatGPT let's say you're a mobile DJ and you've been asked to play a wedding. You've got Puerto Rican bride, you've got a Brazilian groom, and the wedding's in Texas, and you want to know what the hell you should be playing. Just click the voice thing and say that into ChatGPT. I'm a mobile DJ. These are the people coming. These are the ages. This is where it is. Give me some ideas for a playlist and tell me why. And it will. And you can even tell it to format the music in certain ways. So you can say, literally, give me a list of songs in this format, artist-title. And then you can cut and paste them and upload them to whatever streaming service you use and build a playlist where you can actually go and listen to all this stuff. And it's really fast once you know how to do it. And so this means that you can get ChatGPT basically being a little assistant. The best way to think about AI, I think, is two pieces of advice I want to give you if you're scared about it. The first piece of advice is that you're not going to be replaced by an AI, but you might be replaced by a DJ that's figured out how to use AI better than you have. So getting used to this stuff is not an option. But the second thing is, and this is from a marketer called Seth Godin. So Seth Godin said that if you treat AI as an intern in your life, an eager, full of great ideas, never running out of energy intern, right? Who will come up with all kinds of stuff, but you need to check everything they do. So the idea here is that you're not taking anything that AI gives you as gospel. You're using it to generate stuff which you put through the filter of your experience and your creativity and your humanity to come out with something quicker and better than you would have done without it. So that is the best way of thinking about it. So Charlie, I'd say mess around with playlists, look for new stuff that's been added to your DJ software when it comes to music, but also don't shy away from it anywhere else in life. It's definitely something that clearly is not going to go away anytime soon. So do let me know if you need help in any area of your DJing in the chat. There's lots and lots and lots of stuff coming in already. DJ Baldwin on YouTube just says, hey Phil from Washington, hello from Washington State. I've got my coffee ready for the live stream. What are we all drinking today? I've had it here for years, my camping bottle of water. We bought two on Amazon. One of them's in our camper van and one of them's come here with me where it's lived ever since, just in case I get a frog in my throat and I can't carry on presenting without a big swig of it. Right, so and Easy DJ says, I got that warning in Recordbox about the changes in the subscription and the inability to do it. I hadn't seen it before, so yes. Well, they've figured it out anyway, more or less. Right, so let's grab another one. This is from DJ Baldwin, who says, Dear Phil, do you think that clubs will close down? I saw on YouTube someone who was saying in a couple of years the clubs will shut down. Look, I've been in the world of DJing for, well, I played my first venue in 1986. I was 15 and it was a school party for a few schools in Stockport, Manchester, England. We organised in a club. I played in a club. I remember it now. I was almost getting goosebumps. I remember everything about this place. It was brilliant. And I've been playing in clubs on and off, mainly on, ever since. Certainly the last few years I've quietened down a bit. Teaching is a full-time job for me now, but I'm very close to people, of course, who still do this. So I've got an opinion which goes back way longer than most people. And I can tell you that as long as people want to have a good time and dance to music, there will always be venues that let them do it. What those venues look like, how many people are in them, how many there are in each city and town, well, that's always going to change. But the fact is that it's more like a pendulum that swings from fashion to fashion and idea to idea and place to place and overground to underground and back to overground again. There are big changes that happen between generations. Back in my day, you could smoke on the dance floor. No one had mobile phones. If a photographer walked into the club, they were given a pretty hard time by everyone who were like, what are you doing here? Where are these photos going? People didn't like it, so a lot has changed. I heard John Digweed, quoted a DJ recently on his Reddit. He said, someone said to him, why don't you dance when you DJ? John Digweed, by the way, if you're a young kitten and you don't know this, John Digweed was one of the kind of first generation UK house music DJs. John is kind of my age now, but someone said, why don't you dance when you DJ, John? And John said, look, I'd rather be the DJ that doesn't dance in a club full of people who are dancing than a club full of people who aren't dancing holding their phones up and filming a DJ who is. And I love that. But it's a good example of how clubs have changed and how things have changed. And things are always changing. They always will change. But as long as people want to go and have a drink and relax and enjoy themselves with the opposite sex or the sex that attracts them right nearby and dance away to great music, as long as that's true, there will always be places to do it. And so, no, I don't think clubs are going anywhere. I am not a big fan of corporate clubs. I never have been. When I was 15, the corporate clubs were the places where you got beaten up and you had to wear shoes to get in, even though you didn't wear them anywhere else in your life, and you felt very out of place. And then, house music came along and we were like, thank the Lord, here's where we belong. It was all underground. And so I've always had a healthy kind of like, well, I don't really care whether the big clubs survive or not, frankly, because there's always going to be an underground bubbling there. There's always going to be people with new music and new ideas who can attract a crowd and who can push the whole thing forward. So no, I don't think that they're going to go anywhere, DJ Baldwin. And if you can't find a club that plays what you want, or they're closing in your town, start your own. Start your own night. Do something that is what they say, write the book that you want to read. I'd say put on the club night that you want to go to. Do it. It's how a lot of people start. So this next question then is from Lee, who says, I'm currently saving for an XDJ-AZ and I am in a Facebook group which has got more than enough users reporting units arriving with detached screens to cause me concerns. Is it something you've seen? I've seen the same groups, and yes, they are arriving with detached screens. Not all of them, but some of them. Now, we've got an XDJ-AZ over there. I'm looking at it, but I can't show you it on a camera because this is the controller I've got set up here at the moment, the Rain Performer. We're in the middle of recording a tutorial on the Rain Performer. I've done 1 hour and 9 minutes of it so far, and we're going through everything. We're going through every single effect, every single setting, every single piece of audio that you can get out of this unit, all the plugs around the back and all the plugs around the front, and we're going through the lot. It's a massive like 2-hour tutorial that when it's finished. So that's what I'm doing now. So this is the one I've got set up. So do look out for that. It will be on our YouTube channel for free, of course, as soon as it's finished. Now, so I can't show you the XDJ-AZ. I can tell you it's not all of them. I can tell you that ours has given us no problems. But I can also tell you that one of the stores in the UK, West End DJ, sent a DM to someone who'd ordered one, which basically confirmed what you're seeing in the photos you're seeing on Facebook and on Reddit, which is that yes, there has been a quality issue, and they're recalling them all to check them and make sure that that is fixed, basically. So you might find a delay on obtaining yours, but when you get it, it should be all right. It's unfortunate, but hey, these things happen. So yeah, Lee, that is a thing apparently. This is from I Am Preacher Man, who says clubs close, new clubs open. It's been going on as long as people have been around. Well, I'm not sure it's exactly as long as people have been around, but I guess, you know, getting high on licking cactuses or toads and dancing around a campfire, that's probably been going on ever since people discovered cactuses and toads. So yeah, you might have a point there, I Am Preacher Man. Okay, so get your questions in. I'm taking all questions live down here on my chat. It looks like this, by the way, my chat. And I can see all your questions coming in. So please do ask your questions wherever you are. If you're on Twitch as well, ask me a question. I'm here to help. And one question that's come in then is about this. And I've actually luckily got a camera right on it. It's what is this button for? So this button, you can probably just about see it there. Yes, you can. Camera's doing a good job. It's called split Q. And you don't see it on many units. It's on this unit here. It's also on this here, which again, I've probably got a camera on. I bet it isn't focused. Yeah, it's kind of focused. It's not on the split Q button though. But anyway, this unit here, oh, it is actually, yeah, it's up here somewhere. I don't know. So long since I've looked for it on this unit, up here somewhere maybe. I don't know. Anyway, split Q exists on all DJ gear past a certain price point. It's not on most controllers. It's not on most cheaper gear. And so it's something that you might not have seen. So when you put your headphones on in order to queue up another song, right? So you're on your DJ gear, you've got your headphones on. I'll grab a pair of headphones to show you. Here's my headphones, right? So I put my headphones on, I plug them in, and there's a song playing to the audience on one of my channels, and there isn't a song playing yet on the other one. I press the Q button on the unit, and that will put through my headphones the track that the audience isn't hearing, if that's the one I've selected. And then I can line the track up and so on. Now you do get controls that let you mix the one you're kind of getting ready with the one that the audience is hearing. It's normally got Q and master written on it. It's like normally a knob. And that's one way of checking that the track you're queuing up and bringing in is in time and it's at the same volume and it's what you want to play and so on. But another way is to press that split Q button. And what that does is split, hence the word split Q. The audio gives you in one ear the track you're preparing and in the other ear what the audience is hearing, or the master output. And so some DJs prefer that, and it was always on all gear. I mean, I'm sure my very first mixer, it's this one here. Let's have a look. I think that was probably this. No, that was the power. It's a long time since I've used this. This actually hasn't got it. This was the very first mixer I bought. It's a Technics audio mixer, SHDX 1200. I used to go with the 1200 turntables. I thought this had a split Q on it. I mean, it's so long since I've taken this off the shelf to look at it. Don't think it did. Well, there you go. Anyway, most mixers, this was a very, very early mixer. Most mixers since then have had that button on. But it's kind of disappeared with DJ controllers. I guess they kind of felt that that knob is enough. But if you see it, it might be a better way of DJing. It's a great way of DJing in two circumstances I think of. One, when you are DJing at home late at night and everyone's gone to bed, or you woke up and you couldn't sleep and you wanted a mix, you can do it all in your headphones. No one hears anything. It's like a silent disco. That's great. But also, if you're DJing in a club where the monitor speakers are broken or they're not very good, then you can use it in place of those. So you don't basically need to have monitor speakers in that situation. So the downside of it is, you know, I like to immerse myself in the music. If I'm mixing in a new song, I like to put my headphones on and I like to really listen to it. I like to kind of like use them to block out the outside world, and I like to vibe off it and see if it's what I want to play. And if it isn't, then I'll find something else. In one ear, that's not very good, right? So, you know, different DJs like it in different ways. But anyway, that's what it's for. Thank you for the question. Right, so Skinny Bob is asking about headphones. Hey, on Twitch, hello Skinny Bob, who I did ask for someone from Twitch to give me a question, so thank you for that. What's your take on the AIAIAI TMA-2 headphones? I currently use the HD25s, that's what these are, by the way, a classic headphone. For mixing vinyl in the studio and for playing out on meaty rigs. They're good. Yeah, the TMA2s are good, but I would say stick with your HD25s. You're not going to gain anything by switching to them, in my view. Hello to Jose or Jose in Ottawa over there in Canada. And so this is from Roman on Facebook. It seems that the production of the Pioneer DDJ-800 controller has stopped. Can we expect a new version of it? Or is it covered by the DDJ Rev 5? Lots of questions there. The DDJ-800 stopped a long time ago. It was the 2-channel version of the DDJ-1000, which itself got replaced by the Flex 8. What's it called? God, the Flex 10. The Flex 10. If there was a version, a 2-channel version, they would call it the Flex 8. That's what my brain was trying to get out to you. But there isn't. So they replaced the DDJ-1000 and the DDJ-800 with one controller, the Flex 10. And I don't think they'll do another 2-channel controller. The funny thing about 2-channel controllers is, you know, most people only use 2 channels on any controller. Most people literally, they use 2 channels and that's it. But they want the other 2 just in case. So I was speaking to a hardware manufacturer who said, you know, we don't make 2-channel controllers anymore because everyone wants all 4, but we know 80% of people never touch the other 2. So go figure, but I think that's probably why you won't see another one there, Roman. Thank you. So this is from, oh, it's a great question. Thank you for this. From DJ Incompetent. You're clearly not incompetent because you're asking all the right questions. How many versions of a go-to song would you keep in your music library? I stockpile different BPMs and keys and remixes and covers and multiple mashups and the original. Is this too many? And this is from a mobile DJ perspective. So thank you for the question. So we're of the opinion that less is more when it comes to your music. In other words, know your music well and don't have as much of it, right? There's no point, you don't really have music if you don't know it very well as a DJ. But that said, there is an argument for having several versions of songs that you know are keepers. And you know, if you're playing Uptown Funk in 2025, you better not play the whole song because everyone is they're bored of hearing it. So you have a short version with an easy to mix in and out and the verse and chorus and you're out of there, right? That's one example of having an alternate version of something. Also, there are VIP mixes. VIP mix nowadays generally means a version of a pop song that sounds better in the clubs. But there's all kinds of other versions, clean versions that don't have curse words in that you can play in family-friendly venues. Versions of songs that change the BPM or that put beats at the beginning and end to make them easier to mix and so on. These are specialist DJ versions, but they're out there. And if you're getting serious about your DJ, you're going to want to go and find them. And yes, it's worth keeping ones that you play. I would say as long as you avoid packing your collection with stuff you're never going to play, and that goes for loads of songs or loads of versions of a few songs, as long as you only keep the ones that you're actually going to use, I think that's absolutely fine. And also make sure that you've got a good organization system. So as long as those 2 things are right, I think it's fine. In fact, it's probably advisable to have several versions of songs that are important to you. So keep the questions coming in, people. This is from a couple of you saying, I've had no problems with my XDJ-AZ. I found that the software controller mode is a little bit clunky. USB standalone mode is awesome. Well, there we go. It's built to be a USB standalone piece of gear, isn't it? So that makes sense, really. This is from Tesno Pesno, who says, with MP3s, everything costs extra. So I usually stick with just one version of a song. So here's the thing. If you're starting to get serious about your music collection, and the reason you're getting serious about it is that you're playing out, then it's worth considering joining a DJ download pool. Places like BPM Supreme or DJ City or Promo Only or Zip DJ. These are all places that will let you subscribe for a reasonable amount of money each month. You're talking like upwards of $30, $40. But when you subscribe, you'll get unlimited downloads of DJ friendly versions of all the new music that you're likely to want. Now, you're going to want to find a download pool that works for you because they all have different catalogs. But once you have done, can be a cost-effective way of getting your music, and that means you get these versions. So in other words, you'll end up with, for a flat fee, all the versions of songs that you want. By the way, we do have coverage, of course we do, on Digital DJ Tips to help you if you're interested in this kind of thing. If you're interested in anything in DJing, go to Digital DJ Tips, click on the magnifying glass and type in what you want. I'm going to type in download. Download will probably be good enough, but I'll stick pool in as well. And you'll find that one of the things that comes up is, here we go, best DJ download pools for 2025. go take a look at this article. But honestly, people, do this for anything in DJing that you want help with. We have got information about everything you could possibly think of. You might think you're the first person to ask it, but trust me, you're not. So come and search Digital DJ Tips. For 15 years, in fact, it's our 15th birthday a little bit later this year, we have been producing, updating, revising, improving content just like this. So do come and take a look and ask questions underneath. You'll see that here we are helping people out underneath this article that was published a couple of weeks ago, actually. Right, what more have you got? What do you need help with, people? Ask away, or it's going to be an early bath, as they say, and I'll be off home. It is home for me after this. Let the dog out the bedroom and put my feet up. There's a Manchester United game on in an hour and 20 minutes, talking about soccer. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, let's get some more questions in before, eh? This is from Apostolis, who says, "Hi Phil, any advice on social media promotion? Facebook seems to be getting increasingly bad. Instagram is better but not great, and TikTok is only limited age groups. What's the solution? Personal websites or newsletters?" What a great question. We could go on for a long time about this, and we have a lot of training about this inside our Digital DJ Lab subscription training program. However, I'll give you some thoughts here. Social media platforms come and go, right? That's how it is. So we always advise that you be what we are calling increasingly based on an idea that my friend Andre came up with, who is a extremely clever marketer, much cleverer than I am. Andre says you should try and be what he calls a sovereign creator. And a sovereign creator is king of their own kingdom or queen of their own queendom. And that means, yes, your own website. That means, yes, a newsletter. Because if you can get a place, your little world on the internet, right, which is a website, obviously Digital DJ Tips' little world is this one here. If you can get your own world on the internet, and you can, more importantly than that, start collecting people's email addresses who are interested. It's no, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not random that these pop-ups come when you go to Digital DJ Tips. We want you on our mailing list because then we can tell you useful stuff until you say, I don't want it anymore, and click on subscribe. That remains the best way of keeping an audience. So you should have a website. You should have a way of collecting email addresses, whatever you're doing. Because if you open your phone now and you scroll through and you ask, if I was putting out a DJ mix once a month, who would want it? Who would want that mix? Go through your phone. 10 people might be on there. You might have 50. You might have 3. But you're going to have more than one. Put them on an email list and start sending a newsletter saying, I've done a new DJ mix or whatever. Those are the people who are going to start this list growing. And your job is to make that list bigger and bigger. Now you can use social media. Instagram's still probably the best platform. You can put videos on YouTube. You can use TikTok. Yes, you're right. It's only certain age groups, but it's expanding. You can still use Facebook if you want. We do. It's not the platform it once was. I guess it's like Microsoft Word. Everyone's got it. No one really loves it anymore. But hey, the point is, you can use all these platforms, but you want the email addresses. If you're in any way serious about making money, about being a working DJ, about making an income from DJing, whether it's just to pay for your music and your download pool and your equipment or whatever, start collecting email addresses. Be a sovereign creator. Put stuff out there that you own, that people can come to you for. But there's nothing wrong with using platforms. Just they're not going to be perfect, you know. If they were perfect and easy to monetize and easy to do well with, everyone would be doing it. So go the hard route, go the slow route, build something that you own, but don't say, oh, I'm never going to use platforms, I'm going to do this instead, because otherwise you'll be building a lovely little world full of your DJ news and mixes and photos and stuff that no one ever comes to. So it's a balance. But we could go on a lot longer about that, and it's not something that I can cover. You know, I can do justice to in a couple of minutes on one of these live shows. Like I say, we do. Obviously, it's something we cover in our training. This is from Rave Agent, who says, any idea if the partnership between Algoriddim's DJ and Hercules is set to blossom further after their partnership on the DJ Control Mix Ultra? It would be cool to see them and some magic to the Dejuiced software. Dejuiced software is the software that Hercules, which is a hardware brand, provide with some of their equipment. I don't think you're going to see them merging or anything more than the obvious going on. Ultimately, Algorithm's DJ software is software. They're a software company. They need hardware companies to partner with them so they can put out hardware that works well with their software. So you're going to see that, but I don't think they've got any particular, preference for Hercules. I think they'll make their software work with anyone who'll work with them. That's my view on it anyway. Not that I have any inside information on that one. Hi, says Edmundo in Portugal. Hello to you, Edmundo. Do you think VirtualDJ is a solid platform to play on professionally? Oh, yes. VirtualDJ is used by millions of DJs and it's used by hundreds of thousands of mobile DJs, karaoke DJs, party DJs, especially. That's kind of its niche. And it's fantastic. You've got no problems at all. It is one of the oldest, one of the most stable, one of the most powerful, and one of the most loved DJ platforms out there, albeit not as trendy as some of the others. But hey, if it's for you, it's for you. No problem at all sticking with VirtualDJ. A few of you chatting about the idea for having lots of versions of the same song. Good point. Made by Tesno Pesno, who says, take all useful versions of a song as long as you've got enough space. Yes. Easy DJ says, dear mum, I've just uploaded a new DJ mix. I love it. For mums, eh? It's Mother's Day soon here. 20th of March, I think, in the UK, Mother's Day. I'll have to make sure the kids have got their cards. I don't know what I'm saying that for. My daughter's very good at that. Better than me at remembering birthdays nowadays. Anyway, birthdays and any anniversaries. Anyway, so Faye says, the Native Instruments S4, wouldn't it be great if they just tweaked it so you could use it with a USB drive and lose the laptop entirely? What do you think? I've got a Native Instruments S4 over here. I haven't got it out for a long time. Hello. I'll get it. Let's hold an S4 up while we're talking about it because it is a lovely controller. We need to show Traktor a bit more love, I think. This is the S4. It's nice size. You can see it's a nice size, not too big, not too small. It's really well built. It's got useful screens on it. It's got lots of external inputs. You can plug all kinds of things into it. And when you plug external inputs into it, they go through the software so you can use all the effects on them. These are motorized. They might look like normal jog wheels, but when you press play, they spin. They give you haptic feedback. It was quite ahead of its time, this unit. Still a really nice controller, but it's a Traktor controller. It uses software on a laptop. You can't plug this into a USB and just play off it on its own. Will they ever make that happen? I don't think so. They do. Native Instruments, the company that makes that, they do, of course, have equipment, machiner equipment, that's standalone production gear and stuff. But there's a lot more people who are doing that than DJing, as in customers. And it costs a lot of money to make a DJ platform, a standalone DJ platform. There's no surprise, there's only a couple of them out there, right? That let you do the non-laptop thing. So I just don't think the company's big enough or the pool of users is big enough to warrant that personally. However, use it with a laptop. It's still a great piece of gear. Right, so let's grab one or two more questions then. I do have to get out of here because, well, reasons previously stated, not least the poor little doggy locked in the bedroom on her own. So I want to get back and let her out. So, okay, so the next question then is there a glossary comparison chart for the names of mixer effects across hardware and software brands like Pioneer DJ, Denon, Traktor? Like, how do they all have the same effects and call them different things? Right, okay, I know what you're saying. No, there isn't, of course, because these companies try their blinking hardest to make their gear appear to be different to everyone else's, right? So I've just been on this piece of gear here, and we've just been talking about this section here, all the effects on the Rain Performer, and these are stupendous, right? What you can do in here, 29 effects built in here with all these parameters and stuff. They all get given, they must sit there and come up with all this stuff. There are pages, you know, the reason we make these videos, by the way, is if you were to get the manuals for them, and we do it so you don't have to. We get the manuals and print them out. There's literally pages and pages of, these are the effects. Like, it looks like, you know, it looks like the back of a, I don't know, some kind of like manual for some technical electrical equipment and stuff. I mean, what DJ is going to sit there and go through all this, right? This is the effects on the Rain Performer. This is what we're making, hopefully interesting, useful, fun videos about right now to save you having to read all this stuff. So no, there is no place where you can just say, look, can I see what's on this controller compared to this one, or this mixer compared to this mixer, and so on. But look, the thing with effects is that, you know, the 80-20 rule, right? That 20% of something is going to be 80% of something else. So in other words, with effects, you apply it like this. 20% of the effects are going to get you 80% of the result. In other words, if you just learn a few of them, you've got everything you need. I've worked with Jazzy Jeff, and Jazzy Jeff has got to be one of the biggest DJs in the world, best DJs in the world, most respected DJs in the world. He uses reverb, filter, and sometimes uses echo. Filter, echo, reverb. That's it. And the thing with effects is that when you boil down to it, they're all variations of the same thing. So let's talk through the types of effects that are out there. So there's the kinds of effects which are some variation of delay, echo, reverb, right? These are things where if you were to stop the track playing, the effect would carry on for a bit. It would be like a huge echo, like you're in a cathedral, or a huge reverb, or it'd be an echo, it kind of fades out like this. And delay is there as well. You know, delay is literally just the same thing repeated back again, like as it was. So a delay is slightly different to an echo, which tends to disappear. And then you get all the variations. You get the Mobius, and you get the no, actually Mobius is a bit different, but you get the tape delays, and you get the ping pong delays that go from your left ear to your right ear and stuff, but they're all the same. They're all some variation on an echo. And if you want to quickly echo a song out and play another one, any of them will do, right? Dial in a half beat echo and just click it on. There's the effects, I call them the whooshy effects, right? So you imagine, this is phasers, flanges, and everything like it. You imagine you've got a pole and a speaker on the top playing music, and you spin the speaker around. That is that effect. It's this kind of weird resonancy echoey thing. It's like an emergency vehicle driving past you in the street, and you know that the siren is the same, but it sounds different because your perspective on where it's coming from changes quickly, or a plane taking off. And so these kind of effects, they're all the same. They're interchangeable. You mentioned the trans or the transformer effect. It's a gate effect. That's another word for it, a gate effect. It's just turning the track on and off. This is a transform. In fact, transform is a scratch pattern where you're cutting something. Oh, you can't see that. Let's get it so you can see it. This is a transform. You've got a track playing and you go in, or in. The effect just does that. You turn on a transform effect, it will just cut the track in and out. It will keep it nice and in time with the beat, but effectively that's what it's doing, also known as a gate effect. And so look, the thing with effects is you should ask yourself, one, what kind of effect is it? Because it's going to fall into one of the big categories. And two, what am I going to use it for? Because again, you've only got 2 or 3 uses for effects. And so don't get overwhelmed by them, I think is the key here. Effects are not something which is really worth spending an awful lot of time thinking it's worth learning them all, because they're put into this gear by the manufacturers who are trying to make their gear better than everyone else's. But honestly, I said 2080, it's more like 595. You learn 5% of the effects, you're probably going to be using them 95% of the time without even ever thinking about any of the others. Get good on 1 or 2 of them. So over the use of effects, a few of you saying this, sounds awful, to be honest. I try mostly using them for genre changes myself. You know, people who are literally unable to do anything else other than use an effect and then play another song. We've all been there. It's not something that you want to overuse, and I totally agree with you there as well. So yeah, thank you for this, Tesno Pesno. It says you can do a flanger by playing the same song on top of itself. Indeed you can. Put a song on both decks, especially if you just nudge one very, very slightly out from the other, and you get that kind of flanger effect. Right, one more question then. What shall we have? A few of you talking about using the internet on your phones to DJ. That's very interesting. Thank you for that. And this, I think, is going to be our last question. And we'll have another one about VirtualDJ. Hello, Phil. Can VirtualDJ software be used on a dead-end DJ Prime 4 Plus? And can it be used on an XDJ-AZ? And if so, why is VirtualDJ never shown on any new controllers as a reasonable software? Okay, good last question, software question. So DJ software over the years was just that, software. I remember back in the day, it was like a Wild West. That's really annoying me. That's better. It was because the people made software and you had pretty poor controllers to use it on. And then the controllers and the software both got better. And more importantly, the links between them became stronger. So Serato was really one of the first to push this, making sure its software worked really well with any controller or mixer that it licensed, right? So Serato, you know, is always going to work well. And then Pioneer DJ, now Alpha Theta, did the same thing, actually owned the software platform that its gear uses in an attempt to make sure it all works really well together and rises up, you know, so they become part of the same product, if you like. And so it's all become a lot easier to use over the years and a lot better over the years. But there are software platforms that don't have either very, very close licensing arrangements with hardware companies or don't have any hardware companies. We've already talked about one of them, Algoriddim's DJ. So Algoriddim, its DJ software doesn't work very well with a lot of gear. If gear's got screens on it, it won't work with the screens. They can get the basics working, but it's a bit substandard. However, if they do put the work in with a company, and we mentioned an example earlier, then it's a little bit better. And the point is that that's one of them, and the other one's VirtualDJ. VirtualDJ does not make hardware. It does not have, it has in the past just one or two, but it doesn't have official partnerships with companies. What that means is that they have to make sure their software works with everything, and they do. Where they're much, much better than Algoriddim. Algoriddim's software is arguably the most advanced DJ software out there, but VirtualDJ is very, very good, but where they're better than Algoriddim is that they make sure their software works with everything. And it really does. It's like weeks after new gear comes out, you can plug it in. And quite often it works better with that gear than the software that's meant to work with it. That's how good they are at doing it. So you can be pretty sure that it works with whatever you want to plug it into, like the Prime 4 Plus, the XDJ-AZ, etc. But after the second question was, why is it never shown on any new controllers as a reasonable software? In other words, why don't we hear about it? Why, when someone talks about the Rain Performer, is it only Serato they talk about, for instance? And the reason is that there's no partnership between VirtualDJ and this company. When I plug this controller here into my laptop, and when I download Serato, I see this. I see Serato there, all properly mapped to the software, all working. It doesn't cost me anything extra. It's really good. It's all there, right? So I don't have to mess around. It's all here. It's working. Everything's fine. Everything's as it should be. That's brilliant. If I download VirtualDJ to that computer and plug in this unit, nothing will happen because I haven't bought the software. You need to go and shell out the $300 or whatever it is for the software. And so no one talks about it really because you need to buy the software. Whereas, as I said earlier, nowadays it tends to be you buy the gear, you get the software, right? They're linked together. Now, I wish it was so simple. Rekordbox is now increasingly necessary to subscribe to. Serato doesn't give you some features that you really need on a lot of controllers, etc., etc. It's not perfect, and I wish it were. But the point is, they're trying. And with VirtualDJ, they're just a software company. You need to buy the software. Once you do, it works with everything. And that's why it kind of bubbles under the radar. That's why when we review gear, we review it with the software that comes with it, because that's what 90% of the users are going to plug it into and use it with, right? But don't let that put you off. VirtualDJ is a great piece of software. Right, I got to go. People, it's been an absolute joy. Thank you everyone on the chat for making it the usual busy, vibrant, Ask Me Anything. We are busy here at the school, lots of new stuff coming up. If you're a course owner, you'll have heard about a very special thing that we have been running all week. I hope you jumped on that if you could. It's probably closing now. Sorry if you're not a course owner, you don't know what I'm talking about, but it was a private thing that we just did with our students. It's probably closing now, but you might just have an hour or two left. So jump on that. You know what it is. If you know, you know. But we've also got a lot of stuff coming behind the scenes. We've got a new course with a big name DJ that we're looking forward to announcing. Can't wait. Just waiting to get the signature on the contract, and then we'll tell you all about that. But trust me, it's a course of a type we haven't made before, and it's serving an audience we haven't made training for before, and we can't wait. Not least because it's music that is very close to my heart from back in the day. So looking forward to that one, and we also have some exciting new stuff as well coming at the end of this month for you. I can't tell you about that yet, but it's coming. So the school's busy. You're keeping us busy with your fantastic questions, and thank you everyone who's in our courses as ever. Hope you're getting the value you need. And if you want to know about our courses, if you're you're watching all this thinking, I want a part of that. What's all this stuff? Then head over to digitaldjtips.com and then go to the courses tab at the top, and you can filter by what you're into, what software you've got, what level you're at, and all our courses will filter magically just like this. Let's click Virtual DJ. Bam! There we go. You can see them adjusting accordingly. Virtual DJ, and I want to learn the basics. Bam! There you go. You see? So it's all good. Come and have a look at our course finder and grab something for you. Right. Get good, get out there, make the moments. I'll see you again very soon. Until next time, people. Bye-bye.